So here I am again, working through my backlog, and I've come to Katana Zero. I don't remember buying it, and I'm not sure how I have it. However, in the past I've had somewhat of an issue with buying games, so that's probably not that surprising. Katana Zero feels a lot like a horizontal version of Hotline Miami, complete with one-hit kills, restarting level when done, and cutscenes describing the home life of an assassin with severe psychosis and some drug problems. The main differences initially are the lack of guns, occasional bits of stealth, and a perspective. You'd be right to wonder, are those differences enough? After all, Hotline Miami is a stone cold classic. Or at least that's how the game seems from the start. Then you realise things aren't as they seemed at all. Time really is being manipulated, and you aren't even who you think you are. The storyline is much more twisty than Hotline Miami, and rather than looking at and being horrified at who you are, although you are pretty damn horrible, it actually drags you into the storyline and makes you quite invested in it. The game mechanics themselves are incredibly fluid, with the kills coming quickly, and in later levels you're having to make liberal use of the time slowing ability because everything moves so fast, and it kinda super hot vibe to some of the gameplay. The difficulty curve is perfect for me. An absolute masterclass in making you feel powerful and then making it harder and harder until before you know it, you're having to do 20 to 30 attempts to clear a room and you're still loving it, having no idea how you got there, as if you're a frog being boiled. However, if you're into super hard games, then the start might be too easy and have you switch off. And of course, if you're into easier games, the end might seem impossible and make you want to switch off too. So your mileage may vary. The game has a great aesthetic too, including a synthwave soundtrack and a vision of the future where people still use Walkmans and go to video shops to rent movies is very old school cyberpunk. As to whether the game is playable for those of you with only a bit of time, the answer for the most part is yes. Each room is short, and if you do it right, the game always takes you back to that room. The only minus really is the cutscenes. They're great, and they do actually break up things quite nicely, but in order to answer with some of the more interesting responses in those cutscenes, you have to wait a certain period of time. So if you have to leave and it starts a cutscene, you can't just zip through, and that's not great. Katana Zero does a great job of making you feel like a master assassin killing machine, and does so with a combination of a fantastic setting, superb mechanics, and a mind-bending storyline. You could do a hell of a lot worse.